Hi, everyone. I wanted to share an experience I had yesterday. I made a broadcast towards the Orion Belt on Saturday, December 16th, 2023. The broadcast sequence lasted about 25 minutes. And during that 25 minutes, there were over 16 different manifestations that took place. Many of them were the result of a stationary object that was positioned really just below to the left of the Orion Belt, directly in the direction of the antenna radiation pattern, where essentially where most of the radiation is going, that is in front of the antenna. So a lot of interactions, on Saturday, it was quite an experience. And maybe I can show also some example of messages that I broadcasted. A lot of them were the results of my latest research. I see here, this is an example of a slide that I presented in one of my latest interview. This one as well is another slide that I presented recently. Some also latest findings regarding portals, black holes, and so on, how it's applied to the Great Pyramid of Giza. And so these are this is just example of material that I was broadcasting, along with other messages which were a bit more personal. So what I'm going to do here, so I did a video montage of this experience. So I will narrate throughout the montage just to give a brief explanation. The transmission itself started roughly around 5 to 10 at night. So it was really well over 5 hours after the sun had set. At that time of the night, there are no low orbit satellite cannot be seen because they fall in the Earth's shadow. And obviously the high orbit satellite are not visible with the naked eye. And so that was a good time to do this experiment. And so let me just get the video started. And the other thing I wanted to add also here is that I used my antenna array is equipped with 3 cameras, but yesterday I used actually 2 during the transmission. I will call them camera 1 and camera 2. And, this is important because that gives redundancy. So when we see manifestations taking place, and we can confirm that the same manifestation took place using a different camera. So that's a hard piece of evidence that the manifestation was not some kind of camera artifact or, lens flare or anything like that. So all these sightings we're going to see today are backed up with essentially there are 2 cameras that recorded them. I'm not going to show the sightings or the video for both cameras because there are 16 sightings, 16 manifestations. So it will take quite some time if I will do that. But I will show examples of confirmation, validation that were obtained through the other camera. So let me get started here, and I will narrate as we go along. So we see here the antenna is now being positioned, being directed towards the Orion Belt. And we can see the 4 antennas. There are 2 of them are for 144 megahertz, and the 2 in the center, the smaller one, are for 432 megahertz. So we'll see here the transmission started. So we'll see here a stationary object to the bottom left of the Orion Belt immediately. We see a little flash. Here we go, taking place. So manifestation number 2 is to the right side. See another flash here. And immediately after, manifestation 3 took place right to the right of the Orion Belt, pretty intense. And we can see if we compare the brightness compared to the Orion Belt stars and Betelgeuse and so on, it's pretty bright. So the stationary object came back again a few minutes later, at the exact same location that it had manifested initially. And again, this cannot be satellite or moving, obviously, very fast in space to maintain their orbit. So this is validation using camera number 2, different camera, and we see exactly the same sighting taking place. So it's a powerful validation. That's not some kind of artifact. Manifestation number 5, the same, again, stationary object manifest again and didn't move, really stayed completely stationary, which is a powerful confirmation. So again, camera number 2 as a validation, same sighting taking place. Now we're moving on to manifestation number 6. Pretty clear again. And all these took place during and or in between broadcasts, and we can hear some of the broadcasts in the background. The stationary object coming back again, same location. Number 8. This one is a moving object. It's difficult to say if it's non-human or just a natural phenomenon. And now we're moving on to the next one, which is pretty spectacular. Just popping in and out, a very strange structure, very strange configuration, as we can see here. Number 10, again, a stationary object coming back. And this object kept essentially flashing, popping in and out like that during the entire broadcast sequence, during the 25 minutes of the experience, which is quite remarkable. Now we're moving to camera number 2 as a validation. Again, we're seeing the same manifestation. Number 11, the same stationary object coming back again. Very clear. Immediately after, another one, manifestation 12. And we're moving back again to the stationary object, same location. That's number 13. Now we're transitioning to camera number 2 to validate, again, this sighting. Number 14. Very nice, very clear flash to the right side of the Orion Belt. Again, these were all in the direction of the radiation that were being broadcasted, coming back to the stationary object here. Very clear shot. And now we're confirming, validating with camera number 2 that the same sighting is taking place. And now that ended the broadcast sequence. And so I turned on the light so we can see the antenna array a bit clearer. Of course, the stars had moved, within the 25 minutes experience. And now we're gonna go park the antenna back to their parking location. So I just wanted to share, just to demonstrate that clearly, when we broadcast in space intelligent messages, we were getting replies, and there's no doubt that these messages are being heard. These manifestations could not be satellite in any way, shape, or form, just because of the time when the transmission took place. As I said, 5 hours after sunset, there's no low Earth orbit satellite that can be seen, and a high orbit high satellite cannot be seen either. It's too far, it cannot be seen with the naked eye. And so this object specifically that was stationary and kept flashing throughout the experience, it's a pretty powerful confirmation that they were responding in kind, responding to the messages that were transmitted to them. And so that's what I wanted to share. So thanks, everyone.